Hello, Bebe. It's May the 16th, 2016.
I want to remind you that the Lord will guide you every moment, every day. And He'll show you what to learn. And He'll show you what to share with people. And when looking for inspiration, you really don't need to go anywhere else. Because He'll give you all the inspiration that you need, right? And He has many, many ways of doing this. Now, He inspired me today, right? Let me go ahead and tell you how. I was on the internet, I was on the YouTube, and there's a story. Paul Begley was covering it. He's on YouTube right now. He's a pretty good pastor and stuff. Also, he covers current events pertaining to the end of days, right? The tribulation, coming apocalypse, if you will, right? He was covering in California. Apparently, recently, a town by the name of Concord has been overran by killer bees. All right, something serious. The town has been taken over by killer bees somehow. Right? It's very apocalyptic. It's at the very least very tribulating. But anyways, it reminded him of a story of Samson, and he brought that up, and I was like, I thought about that. I was like, Samson. Now I basically know that the story. I mean, I know about the hair cutting thing, and he lost all his power. That's what I've heard about it. But I was like, no, I don't know all the details of Samson. And I grew curious, so I read it. I read it earlier, and it's not a very long book, or it's not a very long story, rather. It's in Judges. It's in the book of Judges, and I believe it starts on chapter 13 and it ends on chapter 16. It's not a very long story, right? But there was details in the story that I was not aware of, and I thought I would share it with you because there's a lot of messages up here in this story of Samson. Within these messages, within these lessons to be learned, I believe that you'll find one of the biggest lessons is pertaining to the danger of intermarriage, like I had covered in previous videos, and it's very dangerous. It's not a wise move. But at the same time, from the very beginning of the story of Samson, the Bible lets you know that God is in control every step of the way. And as humans, we tend to make mistakes, just like Samson is going to make a lot of mistakes. He's going to make a lot of them, right? Very easy mistakes, right? But God was in control since day one. So a lot of people like to get down on themselves and think, oh man, I'm not doing good enough and stuff in God's eyes, because I keep making these mistakes. Right? Know that God is actually in charge of you making these mistakes, alright? He saw to it that you were going to make these mistakes, alright? And the important thing is to, number one, learn from your mistakes. Learn from them. Number two is to be loyal to God, regardless, throughout, because your mistakes are going to cause tribulation in your life. It's going to cause strife and stuff. However, don't lose faith in God ever. And if you don't lose faith in God ever, well, he's gonna make a shining example of you on top of a mountain. See, this is why everybody still remembers Samson. Alright, anyways, let me go ahead and cover the story of Samson. Alright, I don't want to make this a very long video. Alright, so I'm basically going to summarize what happened as concerning Samson, and then you can go ahead and read it. Like I said, it's not a very long story. Alright, Samson, he was born to two Israelite people, and they were in the clan of the Danites, which is a subdivision of the Israelites. Alright, and he was born of a man named Manoah and Manoah's wife. And interestingly enough, Manoah's wife, she never had a name, I guess. They never mentioned her name. So basically that's Manoah's wife is what I'm going to refer to her as. Anyways, Manoah's wife was visited by an angel, right? This angel, he said, Manoah's wife, he said, hey, listen, you're about to have a baby. You're going to have a baby, all right? And Manoah and his wife, they were getting up there in age, and they still hadn't had a baby. They didn't think they were going to be able to have babies. But the angel said, guess what? Manoah's wife, you're going to have a baby, all right? And so what I need you to do is don't drink wine or strong drink at all. Don't eat anything unclean. And also, when you pop this baby out, all right, don't ever cut this baby's hair, all right? Don't do it, because, see, that's going to be a symbol of the consecration between your baby and the Lord, all right? So whatever you do not cut this baby's hair, all right? And so Manoah's wife went back to Manoah and was like, oh, listen, we're going to have a baby. I was told by an angel. And so Manoah and stuff, he was very happy about this and excited. And he went and he prayed, and he was like, man, this angel that came to talk to my wife, please let him come back and stuff, because I want to talk to him too. The Lord heard Manoah's prayer, and he sent the angel back. The angel found Manoah's wife sitting in a field, and, he visited with her a second, and Manoah's wife ran to go get Manoah, and she brought him so that they could both speak with the angel, right? And so, basically Manoah was like, I guess, thanking the angel and stuff, and he asked him, okay, what do we have to do? All right, what do we have to do to raise up this baby right and stuff? We don't want to make any mistakes and stuff. And the angel said, well, basically, don't let your wife drink wine or strong drink, all right? Don't let her eat anything unclean and stuff, and we'll be all good. And also, don't cut this baby's hair, all right? Just don't cut his hair, all right? And know that this baby, In fact, he mentioned this the first time. The angel mentioned, he said, this baby that you're going to have, he's going to start the deliverance of Israel from the Philistines. Now, I got to mention, Israel as a community, they were at the time under the power of the Philistines, all right? You know, the Philistines basically had conquered them because Israel had been messing up, all right? Israel is the people of God, but however, God was like, listen, y'all got to learn the hard way, and so the Philistines going to rule over you for a long time, all right? So the importance of Samson was that he was going to start the beginnings of Israel coming up out of the Philistines' control. God had designated Samson for this. And this is also why he told Samson, don't cut your hair. He told his parents, do not cut your baby's hair. Right? Because this is all part of it. See how God was basically quarterbacking this whole thing. Alright? So Samson grows up. He's extremely strong. Alright? He's got mad power and stuff. And he's got long hair because he never cut his hair. Right? Anyways, he grows up. Right? And he's venturing around about the land and stuff. And he winds up passing by Philistines here and there. He saw one Philistine girl. Said, I gotta have that girl. Gotta have her. Saw that Philistine. See, here's where the danger of intermarriage. He saw a Philistine girl. Said, I gotta have that. Started maybe lusting after her. So I gotta have it. So he comes back to his mom and his dad. And he says, listen, mom, dad, seen this Philistine girl. Gotta have her. You gotta get her for me. Alright? And meanwhile, you know, even his mom and his dad was like, listen, you know, shoot, if you're gonna find a lady, you might as well find a lady within maybe our clan, or even perhaps somewhere within the people of the Israelites. That's who you need to get. And Samson was like, nah, I'm not having that. Want this Philistine girl. Gotta get her for me. So that is what happened. You know, they set that all up. The mom and dad went and set up, you know, the marriage, arranged it up, right? And so, you know, they head over to the Philistines to arrange all the arrangements. And meanwhile, on that trip, right, while Samson was alone, his mom and his dad were like off doing something else. While Samson was alone on the trip, a lion jumped out at Samson. Now, Samson was so badass and strong, right? He basically, with his bare hands, he didn't even have weapons at all. Young lion jumped out at Samson. Samson grabbed it with his bare hands, tore it to pieces, you know what I'm saying? Like a dang piece of paper, just said, lions. He didn't care nothing about lions, tore it to pieces. Right? That's to symbolize just how strong this Samson was. Right? He didn't even tell his mom and his dad about it. He's just like, whatever, let's keep going. So they went, and they set up the marriage and stuff. And, you know, later on, Samson winds up seeing this lion that he tore to pieces, and he noticed that some bees, see, this is how it came up. This is how this whole Samson story popped into the pictures, because bees were a part of this story for some reason. The bees had a lot of symbolism in this story. He saw in the carcass of a lion, the lion that he ripped to pieces, that bees had nested in the lion's carcass, right? And so there was all sort of bees in the lion's carcass, and honey, you know, because they made the hive inside the lion, right? So Samson saw this, and he scooped up some of the honey. You know, he didn't care nothing about the bees. Took the honey, started eating it and stuff. Took it back to his mom and his dad, and he gave them some honey so they could eat it, alright? So he kind of had bees on his mind, I guess. Alright, that kind of stuck with Samson. Now, Samson goes back after having arranged the marriage and everything, and they're having a ceremony, and it's like a 7-day long ceremony. Like, they have parties for like 7 days. When you get married, basically you're having a feast for 7 days, alright? And this is within the Philistines. He's over where the Philistine lady had her people, and they're having a ceremony, right? Samson, for whatever reason, he's kicking it with the Philistines. They gave him like 30 people to kick it with, right? To basically be his groomsmen, right? These are people he didn't know, Philistine guys. Gave him 30 Philistine groomsmen. Now, Samson was kicking it with the groomsmen, and he thought he would wager a bet against them. Just to pass the time, you know, he was like, dude, I'm going to give y'all a riddle, right? So, let me tell y'all a riddle. And if you guess the answer correctly, well, I'm going to give y'all 30 tunics, you know? And if you can't answer the answer correctly within 7 days, y'all owe me 30 tunics, all right? Are you down for that? And they said, yeah, we are down for it. So he told them the riddle, all right? The riddle goes like this. Out of the eater came forth food, and out of the strong came forth sweetness. Now, basically, it's a weird riddle, but apparently the answer of the riddle would be bees, all right? Because out of their strength does come sweetness, comes honey, all right? The answer is bees because he has bees on his mind for whatever reason, all right? So the bet is on. The Philistines can't figure it out. They're like, what's he talking about? I don't know the answer to this. And so since the Philistines all together, they can't come up with an answer. They're like, what's going on? We don't know what he's trying to talk about. We're about to owe this man 30 tunics. We can't afford that. Chances are they could afford it. But anyways, they go to Samson's new wife. They say, listen, we're gonna burn your house to the ground. You better find out the answer from your new husband of this riddle that he gave us. And if you don't, we're basically gonna burn your whole family's house to the ground. We'll burn your whole family. You better go get that answer. And so basically she wound up pestering Samson about it. She was like, what's the answer? Why won't you tell me the answer? Why won't you tell me the answer to your riddle? Why won't you tell me? And Samson's like, dude, I didn't even tell my mom or my dad to answer this riddle. What makes you think I'm gonna tell you the answer? But she just kept pestering him and pestering him about it. What is the answer to this riddle? Until on the seventh day he told her, he said, listen, here's the answer to the riddle, alright? Don't tell nobody. What she did, she immediately told all the Philistines what the answer was. Right? I mean, this is a girl that Samson barely knows. She ran off to her Philistine people and said, here's the answer. Don't burn my house down to the ground. Right? And so they answered him with an answer that says, what is sweeter than honey and what is stronger than a lion? Basically, the answer is bees. Right? Samson realized that these Philistines had played him. He understood that. They did win the bet because they told him the answer to the riddle. The reason for this is because he trusted his new wife, who he barely knew, with the answer, and she went off and told the rest of the Philistines. And Samson knew this. He got angry about this. So what he did is like, okay, y'all win the bet. I owe y'all 30 tunics. Here's what I'm going to do. And he ran off and found all sort of Philistines and murdered them. Beat them to death. Took their tunics. Took all their tunics and took them back to the groomsmen and said, here's y'all's tunics. All right, y'all wanted tunics so bad. There you go. And so the Philistines, you know what I'm saying, who won the prize of the tunics, yeah, their people also got killed because Samson's basically a beast. All right? And so obviously this is creating a beef between Samson and the Philistines. The Philistines are all upset because Samson just killed all their people. And Samson was upset with the Philistines because they used his wife, his new wife, to cheat in this wager that they had bet. Alright? So now they got beef. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of this story on the next video. I don't want to make this video too long. On the next video, we're gonna finish the story. So stay tuned. It's May the 16th, 2016.